And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Louisiana State Senator Bill Cassidy's comment about maternal health shows black women are just in the way of his ideal statistics. He tried to rationalize Louisiana's high maternal mortality rate, saying that it isn't so bad if you factor out black women. He recently tried to apologize, but my guest told me he's already put his true colors on full display with his foot in his mouth.
There are a lot of problems, but one of the issues is that we're sick and tired of being sick and tired by idiotic, stupid, racist men and any other people, and women too. But these people, these men, seem to be just emboldened. But, you know, I would kind of like to see them talk directly to us. They're okay when they're, talking to their own group, their own kind, or they're in a microphone. I'd like to see them come to our community and stand and talk to some of us, see how that feels. I'd like just even the four of us just to be in the room with him and see if he really has the, can I say it, the balls to say what he just said?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the factor.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
Yolanda, let's hear from you.
So first of all, it's not just men, it's white men. They're arrogant, that they're top of the food chain. And the truth is, it doesn't make a lick of sense that black women are dying at rates that they have in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's systemic racism within healthcare, but it's also racism that we have to deal with every day, being mothers of black children. They dismiss what we say. I can tell you, I only have one child because of my pregnancy experience, which was awful. They did not give me an epidural during my pregnancy until I'd been in labor for 13 hours. I was begging for an epidural. I literally felt like I was gonna die with every contraction. And just when I thought I would take my last breath, God would make the contraction stop. I can't explain begging for pain medication. And I remember that, like most people say, oh, I remember the pain of my pregnancy. I forgot about it. I love my child so much. I remember that pain like it was yesterday. I've never felt such pain in my life. And our experiences are terrible. They don't treat us as if we're human. When they did a study of white medical students, they thought we had thicker skin. They thought we had less sensitive nerve endings. So they think we can accept more pain. And it's offensive to me. And it's like that around the world. And we've got to stop that, because if you can't protect your women and children, I mean, what kind of country are you? Especially for us to be one of the richest countries in the world, for us to die as if we're in sub-Saharan Africa. It doesn't make sense to me.
Kay Matthews, what you just heard from State Representative Yolanda Jones is nothing new to you as director of Shades of Blue Project. You hear stories like that from women of color, specifically black women, all the time, where they don't get the same type of treatment, the same type of care, the same type of attention that they need.
No, I completely agree. I mean, that's the very reason why I started the organization. I delivered my daughter stillborn. And at that moment in the hospital, I did not realize that I was a Black woman living in America until my birthing experience. It's just like representatives. It's that experience of giving birth. You know, folks talk about the different experiences, well, the happy, sad, and it's like, well, I have my baby. But for me, that loss and wanting folks to not have that experience, to be able to use our voice as Black women, that we can make it different. We can say, hey, I'm experiencing pain. This is happening. I'm uncomfortable, all these different things, but it's the value that is not there for our voices and what we are going through. And like she said about mentioning that we have thicker skin, that's such BS, but it's trickled down for so far. It's so believable. And so, I mean, med students believe in something like that. We're in 2022 and that's still so prevalent. That's the one who works with medical students. That's the one thing they're afraid to bring up. Is that true? who's still teaching this and embedding this into you? It is trickling down to how Black women are cared for within our systems. It definitely is racism. It's systematic racism. It's the system that was not designed to take care of us. And this is what we're dependent on. This is why we got to go back to what we're used to. This is why midwives are important. Doulas are important. We want to stop these things. These are the folks that we need now have to really lean into, but we also have to honor what they do and what they bring to the table and how they are in these positions to help save Black women's lives, because we're the ones that's dying. So if you remove us from the numbers and from the data, then maybe in your head that the numbers will change and this will all be different. But we all know that that's BS.
Newscast has been brought to you by Jim Adler and Associates.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Louisiana State Senator Bill Cassidy has been getting a lot of criticism about his comments regarding maternal mortality rates in Louisiana. I asked tonight's panel, what's it like to hear a lawmaker basically disregard Black mothers out there?
I'm thinking these are our lawmakers. These are people making laws that determine what will happen with Black women. You know, I can tell you, there are no official statistics, but I bet you'd have 8 out of every 10 women have a pregnancy story. At 21, I go in for fibroid removals and they tried to take my uterus. And if it was a white man, and I haven't had a white doctor since, he just made a call that he decided he was going to try and take my uterus. And a Black nurse there woke me up out of my anesthesia sleep and told me to demand that he don't do that. And, you know, we have to have advocates, but we have people like Cassidy dismissing and erasing Black women. You know, he tried to clean up his words, but the fact that you would even dismiss us in the first place, you can't just say, were it not for Black women, because we are part of the equation. Mm-hmm. But this goes back to me, white people can disassociate themselves from us. We have to live in their world. They don't have to live in ours. I mean, I could be a billionaire if you correct the zeros in my account. It just doesn't work like that.
And can I just say this, not counting goes further than healthcare. He is a state lawmaker. There are people in power all over this country who are not counting us. So that means not counting in employment, not counting in opportunity. I saw a report just recently that even in Harris County, 0.5% of the contracts go to Black women. So not counting is a huge statement. That means we want you erased. And that goes back to our history in this country when these lies were perpetrated in the first place. And actually part of it was in our religion. It was, they had to make us some way or describe us as subhuman in order to dismiss and diminish our existence. But it's interesting, when they got ready to climb out and go over the fence at night, we were human then, all right? So
no, we were for their pleasure. We were for their pleasure. It had nothing to do with our humanity.
Well, to clean your house, to do all that. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But it's always in a subservient, dismissive kind of way. And this, I hate for our girls to hear this kind of thing. We have so much work to do.
It's not just access to health care with Black women. It is the racism is making us sicker. If you are experiencing racism, our babies are born more premature than white babies. Our babies are dying at a higher rate than white babies. So our women are dying at a 4 times a high rate up to a year after pregnancy, because prenatal care is really, really important. And having a stress-free pregnancy is really important. And there's no way that we're just sicker because we're Black, because some kind of way physiologically we're predisposed to die, or our babies are predisposed to die. In this society, when you have lawmakers who we know he's told us who he is, we need to believe him the first time. He does not need to be making laws that have anything to do with us. And he needs to be voted out of office. And I believe, Isaiah, when we started this conversation, you said, I wonder if he would say that to Black women. Of course he would. He is arrogant. And we need to have this conversation regardless of how fragile some people's egos are. And this very much reminds me of critical race theory when it comes to the importance of Black women and the Black family. You just want to dismiss our problems and say that they're somehow based on us when it's really based on the system.
And he proves that it's more than theory, it's a practice. It's more than a critical race theory. It is a practice, and it's throughout the fiber of our society, and especially in the medical area, as we can see with the statistics.
All right. Ladies, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight. We appreciate your time.